Hey everyone, it's Chris, the PDX Picker. Welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders. We got a great video for you today. A bunch of good orders going out and some reseller news. Going to talk a little bit about what's going on in my shop. And I also want to show you how I'm going to ship a really big item, a suitcase to be specific. So stick around at the intro song. We'll get into all those topics and orders.
Don't know why that kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so it's been a pretty good sales weekend, I would say. I have to go into the office tomorrow. It's my lunch break right now, so I'm pulling orders and I got to get everything packaged up and shipped before I head out of town tomorrow. So a lot more than I would normally pull on a typical order video, but that's okay. Let's get right into it. A couple of really good sales off the bat. Interesting sales, I'll put it that way. So the first one is another lot of flower frogs. I think this is the third or fourth lot that I've sold. And it just continues to amaze me that they sell for what they sell for, or even that they sell at all. I guess flower, people are certainly into flower arranging. It's not that that is weird, but just these little metal spiky things can sell for pretty good money. So I picked this up in just a tin of random bits and baubles and pieces that I bought from somebody for, I think, $4 at a garage sale. The primary reason I bought it was because there were a bunch of old-fashioned doorknobs, one of those glass doorknobs or crystal doorknobs, and some other things like that. Well, this set of flower frogs was in there, and they sold for $25. Get you a little bit up close look here. These plastic PLASTIK, those ones, for whatever reason, seem to be very desirable. This is also a plastic one. These are actually plastic and metal. These ones are just unbranded metal. But anyway, crazy. $25 for those. And I basically have about $2 into that. So that is just super surprising to me. Haven't done a fact or crap in a while, so let's go ahead and pull one of those out. Fried dill pickles first became popular during the California gold rush of 1849, when miners panning for gold needed a quick and cheap meal to fry over an open fire. Fried dill pickles. Did they first become popular in 1849? Fact or crap? I'm guessing that's crap. Crap. To promote the dill pickle plant in Atkins, Arkansas, the Duchess Drive-In owner Burnell Fat Man Austin came up with the idea of serving fried dill pickles to pickle plant workers and tourists for the first time in 1960. What a weird... Why would they make us think it was the gold rush? So, I don't know. I think the big sale item of the day is this next one. It took me forever to list this. Kind of that lot of things that I've just been holding off on that are really high value, and I'm just being lazy and not listing them. This is a Peter Millar sport coat that I picked up for $7 at, I guess it was an estate sale. Yeah, it was an estate sale. Same place I picked up the huge lot of Lowe's t-shirts for the Lowe's service providers. So paid $7 for this. I think this is like $800 new, like $795 MSRP. Sold in, no joke, 2 days for $149.95. So big sale item of the day. One of the main reasons why I didn't list it is because it was a bit wrinkly, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I got to figure out how to steam this. I definitely don't want to take it to get cleaned, because that'd probably be $15 or so. I don't know how much it costs to clean a jacket like that, but it used to be, back when I wore suits every day for work, it used to be kind of expensive. So anyway, over time, it just kind of naturally, a lot of the wrinkling went away. So it fixed itself over time, but so in that case, I guess procrastination paid off. Easy for you to say, not easy for me to say. This sold for $19.95. Paid $3.99 for this at my thrift store. It is a Nike Golf ThermaFit quarter zip, and it has a Dutch Bros logo on there. I've had some decent success selling Dutch Bros merchandise, and the reason I picked, this color is kind of weird. It's like a changes color in the lighting. Probably won't show up on there, but green to brown to black. I just figured it was Nike branded and Dutch Bros. So that was a good combo. And only took about 2 months to sell, if that. So sold quite quickly for a good profit. All right, quick bit of reseller news that probably a lot of you have heard by now is there's a partnership going on between Facebook and eBay. There's still a lot of uncertainty as to exactly what it is. Some people are excited about it, some people are nervous about it. The interesting part to me, and comment below if you have run into this scenario as well. To me, it wasn't that surprising because I had seen on my Facebook Marketplace probably 2 months ago. Right now we're in the middle of January. So let's say November-ish time period, I had seen on Facebook Marketplace that there were a whole bunch of Poshmark listings on there. I say Poshmark listings, they really are Poshmark listings. So, but they showed up with all the other, squares that Facebook Marketplace listings show up as, and it just said Poshmark, like on the upper section of it. And you would click on, if you wanted to look at one of those items, you would click on it, and it would take you to Poshmark in order to purchase it, if that's where you wanted to if you wanted to in fact purchase the item. I never heard anything from the reseller community about that. So subsequently, when eBay said that they were going to partner with Facebook, or vice versa, however you want to look at it, I just assumed it was going to be the same kind of thing as what I had seen with Poshmark. And it's still to be determined, like I said, exactly what it is. But the interesting thing to me is I have gone on to Facebook Marketplace since then. I have looked on the news, any sort of, Google searched Poshmark and Facebook partnership. I can't find anything on there. So I don't know if it was a beta that was being tested in my, or I was part of a beta that I wasn't aware of where Poshmark listings were showing up in my Facebook Marketplace. Was that showing up for all of you out there? Or are there any of you out there that also saw Poshmark listings showing up in Facebook Marketplace? It's just interesting because, I heard nothing about it. There was certainly no news. This Facebook and eBay partnership, it was huge news. There was a huge spike in the eBay stock price because of this proposed partnership. So, and I just thought that was interesting that, like I said, in my mind, it had already happened with Poshmark, but then either they tried it and they didn't like it, or it just went away altogether. I don't know. They're not showing up in my Facebook Marketplace listings now. So, interesting news. I think that'll be exciting, good for eBay sellers to have our listings show up on Facebook Marketplace so that if somebody is shopping on Marketplace, they're interested in one of our listings, they click on it, I think it will take them to eBay, and everything will be, done through eBay, so we won't really notice a difference. But how our listings show up on Facebook Marketplace, I don't know. Do we have to pay for promoted listings? Are we just automatically part of it? I don't know. We'll see. So that's kind of the concern, I think, for a lot of us. When it comes to that, is it going to be more expensive? Is it going to only be some sellers that are able to do it? We don't know. Had a couple of sales on Poshmark, speaking of. First one, I picked this up for right around $2 at the Goodwill outlet. New with tags. Love, like I mentioned before, I love when Goodwill outlet items are new with tags. This is a Steve Madden, I like this sweater that's super fuzzy and all that. Specifically, it is called a shirt jacket. The Shaved Chocolate shirt jacket. Sold that on Poshmark for $25 plus shipping. And then the other item I sold on Poshmark, not near the profit. I think I overestimated this one. Wasn't getting a lot of traction on this, so I went ahead and took a lower offer than I initially would have thought. Let's see if I can. Hope this isn't one that Nope, good. Phew. Yeah, these have been in here for a while. Part of the reason why I accepted a lower offer is I've had these listed for a while. So these are some Hoka Bondi 7s, blue. I paid $25 for these, but these are in super nice condition. Very cleaned up very nicely. Lots and lots of tread left on here. I think though the issue is that the Bondi 8s have come out, so like a newer model has come out, and maybe even, I don't know, maybe even a Bondi 9. So it's a little bit older model, but I paid $25 for those and sold them for $57. So definitely a profit, but just took too long to sell And I just paid too much for them, is the bottom line. So I am not opposed to paying $25 or even $30, even $35 for a pair of Hokas or On Clouds, things of that nature, because if they are in super good condition, basically like new condition, you can get 80, 90, maybe $100 for them. But they have to be the latest model. I think the most recent model is going to be the key to, if you're going to pay up for it, it's okay as long as it's the latest model. That's my thought. Let's do another fact or crap. Let's just have a fun day today. According to Esquire magazine, the actor George Clooney refuses to work with fellow actor Russell Crowe after Crowe publicly called Clooney, Robert De Niro, and Harrison Ford sellouts. So, does George Clooney refer to work with Russell Crowe because he called George Clooney, Robert De Niro, and Harrison Ford sellouts? Fact or crap? I haven't heard anything about this. I'm not big into entertainment, but I'm going to say this is fact. Fact. Critical growing. So, apparently, Russell Crowe has never sold out himself, which, I don't know. I haven't seen Russell Crowe in anything, I feel like, in years. I think the Noah movie was the last that I can think he was in, and that was probably 5 years ago. Well, as is sometimes the case, I had some technical issues. My SD card was full on my camera somehow. Even though I have deleted all sorts of videos off of there. I'm doing something wrong, obviously, but I went ahead and saved everything to my computer and reformatted everything, and reformatted the SD card, I should say. And now it seems to be working. But in the meantime, I packaged all of my listings that I'd sold so far right there. So that's what we pulled already, and we are now a clean shipping table, which is already nice. And this next item that's sold is a set of Star Wars Jedi Quest books. This is volumes 1 through 4. I believe it's the whole series. Paid $1 each for these, and that sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Took a little bit longer. I bought another set that was a 10-volume set. That sold really quick, and I think for $50-ish or $60 or so. So that one wasn't nearly as good, but still not too bad. We have 2 repeat buyers today. The first, and by repeat buyer, I just mean they bought more than one item from me at the same time. The first is the set here of poles, KBC poles. They bought 8 of these. I think that's all that is left in there. They bought this set, and then they also bought this set here. Now they are virtually identical, except one is 3.5 inches wide and the other is 4 inches wide. These are from old bedroom furniture, and the person was very excited. She said she's been looking for these for years. So I am glad to have provided that service for her. I bought these, this whole lot for $5. I've already sold 2 lots for probably $25 each. So I think all told, we're looking at somewhere around somewhere around $120 for all this lot of old poles, old bedroom furniture poles. So I had no idea the value when I bought it. Honestly, it looked cool enough and in good enough condition that it would be worth buying, and it was. So sometimes I can't speak for all old poles, but these sure turned out to be quite a good score. And the buyer did message me and ask about combining shipping and lowering the price, and I said of course I would do that. Generally I will do that if they ask. I don't automatically do it unless it's just an egregious price. You know, let's say I charge them $40 and it's only going to be like $18 to ship it, then I will definitely refund some of that even if they don't ask. I just double checked or double counted to make sure that I only had 8 in both of those bags, because I sold them in lots of 8. I'm trying to figure out what in the world I was thinking when I went to list these, because there's actually 11 in one and 8 in the other, which is perfect. We want 8, at least 8 in both of them, but we don't want... But anyway, I looked and I actually have 8 more, a lot of 8 listed still in that bag that has 11 in it. So this is why I guess it's good to do inventory from time to time, although I don't know for sure if I would have counted all those. I probably would have. Anyway, I'm going to just end up sending this nice buyer all 11. I'm going to end the listing for this extra lot that I have, but very weird. Don't know how I miscounted so badly when I listed these originally. Sold another book today, and in addition to the lot of 4 or set of 4 that I just sold, this one's much better. It's called the Black Book Companion. Picked this up for $3 at a yard sale. I picked up 3 good books there: the Poisoner's Handbook and an Unconventional Warfare Devices and Techniques, old Army book. This one sold for $55.62. Somebody sent me a weird priced offer. Must have been with taxes and everything. Must have been a flat number on there. But so yeah, Black Book Companion. I think this is how you. It's kind of a weird book. Probably not one that I looked at it too. Basically, I just saw it, looked it up online, and saw that it sold for good money. I think it's kind of a weird book. Not sure if I'm super happy about selling it, but hopefully it's somebody that's just gonna have fun with it. This next item, I didn't know how this would turn out. Bought this on Whatnot, so this is a good Whatnot sourcing purchase. Because I bought it quite cheap. It was only, I think, $5 or $6, including the shipping. It's a Carhartt hoodie. Usually a no-brainer. Nice, good size. It's a large, and it's a medium. But the weird thing about this, and I made sure to photograph it, put it in the description. Whoever had this originally did some sort of weird cut modification right there. I don't even know what normally would be there. But that still sold for $29.99 free shipping. So a little bit of a discount. So, let's say $22. How about we'll just call it $20 because this will have to go priority mail for sure. So not too bad, but it sold super quick. So that was the nice thing about it. It's that in spite of the oddness, it still sold really fast. Probably less than a week. The other big item of news that just I don't know if it came out, but it's making the rounds to a certain extent, is USPS, I should say, is going to be dropping the price of some of their shipping starting on January 19th. I think that item is still listed. But anyway, January 19th, the holiday surcharge is going to go away, and the rest of their, just in general, they do a price update around there. So most things are going down in price. There are some things that are going up though, but good news is that I think a lot of the, one thing that I use a lot is the Priority Mail flat rate padded envelope. That used to be $8.90, and then it went up to $9.45, and even $9.80 in some cases. I think that's going to come back down in price. Might not be to $8.90, probably, I'm guessing around $9.25 is what they're going to settle in at. But we shall see here in a couple of weeks, but that's good news. The other interesting piece of news that I have heard through the grapevine, because I happen to know somebody that works for them, is FedEx is going through a massive restructure. They are firing or laying off a huge number of their pilots. I would say maybe even as many as half of their total pilots is what I've heard. Because they really are transitioning, I think, away from quick shipping. They're going to try and do more and more FedEx ground type things. So, which that's 99% of what I would ever use them for. It's not good for the pilots that work for FedEx, that's for sure. At least the ones that, well, frankly, the ones that were laid off, definitely bad, and the ones that are still there, probably going to have a huge increase in workload, at least for a while. But so that'll be interesting to keep an eye on if that has any effect on FedEx shipping moving forward. Is that going to be a negative for FedEx shipping for us resellers? It's going to be a positive? I don't know, to be determined, but we shall see. This next item that sold took quite a long time, I know, because I listed these on the old flat lay for my clothing setup when I had the blue background. Really made these gray pants turn out to be a different color, but these sold for $21.95. Plus shipping. I got these for $8 at my local thrift store. Just a nice pair of Carhartt Relax Fit gray jeans. They're not carpenters. There's nothing too remarkable about them, and because of that, it's definitely a lower price. They're not double knee. Definitely a lower price on the when it goes to reselling them. Okay, this item sold. I was super happy about it when I found this last summer. So it's summer of 2023. I just thought it was super cool. It's this item right here. Bought it for $1. It is a vintage canasta card game. And that finally sold for $18 plus shipping. There's nothing spectacular about the cards themselves. I believe canasta just uses a regular deck, or 2 regular decks of cards. It comes with the rules here. But what I just thought was super neat about this is the case that it comes in. It's got this nice like basket weave on the front there. This is just an aluminum case, probably from the I might say on here. I would guess from probably the 1960s. And but when I saw this, just was cool. You know, nice quality. I mean, this has been around for 50 plus years. Still looks, in my opinion, brand new. At least the case does. It's got an old Meyer and Frank price tag on there. That was a Northwest department store that is no longer in business. So just super cool. There weren't any others listed. Had no idea if anyone was ever going to buy it because it's one of those that probably would get lost in all the other listings. It kind of did, but not enough to where eventually somebody found it. So very exciting to sell that one. I love when, you know, it's kind of like a history thing. It's one of those that probably was destined for the landfill. If I didn't sell it, I would have donated it, but who knows if anyone else was ever going to buy it. So I'm just glad that somebody did, and hopefully they will enjoy it like I did. This next item that sold, this is the suitcase that I referenced in the beginning. It is let's see if we get the good lighting here. This is a Sims fly fishing rolling suitcase. Bought this for $25 at Goodwill. Sims is a super good brand to resell. They are kind of a higher end fishing related company. They sell a lot of shirts and hats and some shoes and things like that, but very good company. This is a pretty rare. I don't know, how many of these they made, but suitcases is not something that they sell a lot of, I don't think. So this sold for $120 plus shipping. I'm gonna package this up and show you how I ship this later on, because frankly I don't really know exactly, but it's probably going to involve something like those maybe 2 of those banker boxes put together, or 2 of the large boxes that I have put together, and because I don't really have, certainly not a natural box that this would fit in. So I was always hesitant to sell it because of the size. I really thought long and hard before buying it. Like I mentioned, I think I said it sold for $120 plus shipping, but I knew it was going to be some good money. I didn't know exactly how long it would take to sell. It took about probably 3 months, so not too bad. We'll see how that turns out in the shipping process. I sold a couple of, this is the second, these are the last items of the day, and then we'll go into the shipping, but this is the second repeat buyer. Somebody bought 2 of my Thomas the Train Trackmaster, these kind of metallic sheen special edition versions of James here, Gordon here. So I have these wrapped up. Probably can't get a great view of them. I guess I'll try and show you a picture. Those sold for, Gordon sold for $34.95 plus shipping, and James, for some reason I priced this one at $34.49 plus shipping. There's a nice look of Gordon. You can see he's shiny, and that is a special package that you bought at, I don't know, Target or Toys R Us or something like that, that was sold like that. And then there's James, same shiny red. And I bought all these for $2, about $2 each, and so $4 into 70. I will take that for sure, plus shipping. All right, so I'm going to get the camera set up so that you can watch me try and package up this bad boy.
All right, so we are back to ship this suitcase. This bad boy right here, I'm going to apologize if the microphone makes the sound not great. I'm working on getting a new microphone, but haven't got there yet. So, all right, we're going to package this. There's a couple things to keep in mind. Of course, you want a box that's big enough. I happen to find, well, my wife found a perfect size box. It is this Home Depot medium size moving box. So I guess if you are in the process of shipping anything, if you are in the process of considering selling a suitcase of this size, the medium Home Depot box is the perfect size for it. It even says luggage on the top. Not sure why that was, but anyway, so what we need to put into consideration is, even though this will fit in, it will fit in pretty much just perfect lengthwise. It's a little bit too tall, and we also want to make sure that some of these important pieces don't get damaged in the process of shipping. So in addition, this box has handles on the side, so because it's designed for moving, not for shipping, so we're going to want to make sure those get taped up and properly contained so that stuff can't get inside the box during shipping. I am going to put a layer of padding down at the bottom. I'm going to put just some light bubble wrap, just this stuff. I just want something down there to cushion a little bit the bottom of this, because it, I don't know exactly how much that will do, but this stuff on the bottom here, I just want it to be a little bit more protected than just paper. I think I'm going to, I might try and bubble these wheels and these handles, because those, I would imagine, those are the primary things that could break on here. The issue though is we have, like I said, I don't know if you can, how well you can see that, but it fits in there almost perfectly. So there's a little bit of room to bubble around here, and maybe a little bit on this edge. So I just have to decide how I want to do this, like, because it does fit like this. And if I break down, you know, if I cut here and then fold this down so that I'll lose about 4 inches on this box, I would imagine the price of shipping is going to go down, but let's see if it's even worth it. First thing I'll do is weigh this, and I'm going to be adding some bubble. I'm going to be adding some other things on here, so I'm probably going to add a few more ounces. So we're basically right at 10 pounds. It's actually lighter than I thought. So we're at 10 pounds. This particular item is going internationally, so that means it's being sent to the Illinois eBay International Hub, which is actually maybe a good thing when it comes to UPS or FedEx, because I believe that's technically considered a business location. So FedEx, UPS, they charge lower amounts for delivering to businesses than they do for home deliveries. Let's just, because it's 9 pounds, 10 ounces. So it's only 6 ounces, and then we're into the 11 pound range. So I'm just going to put 11 pounds on here. And again, I'm using the eBay app. That's how I do all my shipping. Well, not all of it, probably 99% of it. I do use Pirate Ship a little bit, but it's just, for me, it's much simpler to put it in this way than using my computer or something on my or just a browser on my phone, which is how I normally do Pirate Ship. All right, so this is 23 inches long, 16 inches tall, 17 inches. So 23 by 16 by 17. All right, so if we're just going good old USPS Ground Advantage with those dimensions, we are looking at $113.79 just for shipping. That is funny. Next lowest, or the lowest option is FedEx Ground at $38.20. And we also have UPS Ground at $48.99. So of course, in this case, I would choose FedEx Ground. That is by far and away the cheapest option. I charged $30 for shipping. So in that case, I would be losing $8. So one thing that I'm going to try to do is what would happen if I can reduce this down by 4 inches. So let's have it be 13 inches tall instead of 17. So that 4-inch reduction, it drops the USPS Ground Advantage to $95.32. And then it drops FedEx Ground to $31.34. Now let's see if I can miraculously get it to under 10 pounds. Is that going to make any difference whether it's 10 or 11 pounds? It's not. So the good news is, all right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to package this as well as we can. The weight doesn't matter as long as I don't go more than 1 pound and 6 ounces. And we are just going to focus on really protecting those potential areas of breakage and then reducing this box size by 4 inches. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to use my big bubble for these. So it's going to be a little odd. This isn't something I normally do, but I think what we're going to do is make use of my plastic roll. So we're going to use this to wrap the bubble around the wheels so that it stays on the wheels, and that way I don't have to use a whole bunch of extra bubble wrap where I don't really feel like I need it. All right, so you can see it is held in place there. It's protecting those wheels pretty good. I have these knob things here. I think I'm going to go ahead and put another piece of bubble right there just to, just to make sure that everything that is potentially breakable has a nice little layer on there. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't want this person who spent $120 on this item to have to worry about it shipping or breaking during shipping. The other thing is like I said, it's going internationally. This has a long trip. This is the part that I still don't understand when it comes to eBay International. As far as I know, if there's any sort of an issue with this shipment from the international hub in Chicago, well, in the Illinois area, to wherever the final location is, that is the problem of eBay. So I don't know if they are going to repackage this when it gets to Illinois or if they'll just keep it as it is. But my job is to make sure this gets to Illinois. Now, I'm still going to do a decent job of packaging it in, because I don't, if this gets to the buyer and it's broken, I don't know if the feedback, I feel like they could probably leave me negative feedback, even if it's the fault of eBay International. So plus I just want them to get the item. I just want, they were kind enough to spend $120 on an item that I listed. I just want them to get what they paid for. I don't think that's too crazy to ask for. If I spend $120 and the item showed up broken, I would be mad at the seller, not the intermediary. So we shall see. Like I said, hopefully this doesn't become an issue because it just arrives there in nice condition. So for those of you that don't use this, I don't use it very often. You saw earlier in my video I wrapped up my Thomas the Train Trackmaster trains. So I used it for those scenarios. I obviously am using it here. So it's not too often that I will use this, but when I do need it, it comes in very handy. It's super cheap. It's just it's better than tape in some instances because it's not going to, you don't need to worry about any tape residue getting on things. Obviously, it's not maybe the most environmentally friendly piece of material because you're just creating more plastic, but it could be worse. So anyway, all right. There's that. Before we get into popping these, I feel pretty good about that. I'm just going to, we got one more thing on here on the edge that I'm just going to stay. One more piece. Wrap this around just probably twice. It's probably all this is going to need. All right. I feel pretty good about that. We got the little bubble on the bottom here. Kind of stick that down in. It hugs the sides pretty well. And now I look at it, I think I can actually cut maybe even as much as 6 inches off here. So let's go ahead. I bought this off of Amazon. It is a box knife along with a score. Super, super handy. I use this all the time when it comes to resizing boxes. I usually just kind of guesstimate where the cut needs to be made. If you want to get super fancy, you can just use a device like this. So I just basically measured to the bottom of my cut and then made essentially a shim, not a shim, whatever it is called when you create a little thing that shows you how far to cut. There's a fold in here that I'm using as a basically a marker. So, all right. So we've cut the sides. Put that away. Now we can use this to score the edges. The nice thing about that is these handle parts here, they're just going to be folded in, so I don't need to worry about taping up those pieces. See, well, we'll see how. I might still need to tape those up, but we got one side folded in here. I'm just going as straight as I can. It happens to be working out well. Some people might want to use a straight edge when they are doing this. I seem to have a steady enough hand most of the time that I can get away with it this way. As soon as I say that, I had a very, very bad one right there. Woo-wee. Turned out just fine. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Don't like to use my left hand because it is not very good. All right. Because weight doesn't matter, I am not going to worry about cutting those pieces off. And you could save some weight by cutting off this extra cardboard, but I'm not going to do that. It did. I don't like this section here. Kind of got a bad angle over here. I don't know if I'll be able to fix that or not. Not really. That's okay. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of bubble, just the light bubble on the top here. Just again, another little layer of of a little bit of protection on there. Fold this over. First go lengthwise. Put several layers on here. Put one more over here. All right, I'm going to check the bottom. I didn't tape this originally. Just going to go ahead and tape the edges like this. Give it a nice new layer there, one more in the middle. Just don't want the tape to break in transit. Okay. Double check on the weight here. Should still be hopefully under 11 pounds, but it doesn't matter. 9 pounds, 13 ounces. So, okay. And then we have, double check the measurements here. It's a little longer. Nope, still 23 by 17 by 11. Okay. 23 by 17 by 11. Remember, we started at $38.30 on FedEx ground and $118 on Ground Advantage. It's down to $87.84 Ground Advantage and only $28.79 FedEx ground. So the $29.95 that I charged is almost exactly what it turned out to be. So I feel pretty good about that. You know, when I came up with that number, it was just a shot in the dark. I do look at some of the other listings for people that sell luggage and what they charge for shipping. So I get have somewhat of an idea, but this way we'll get a label on here, and then that's going to do it for today's video. So thanks so much for watching. Please like it if you did, and subscribe to my channel to get some more content like this in the future. Good luck with all of your reselling ventures out there. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.